Have you ever heard of darts truing or truing of darts? If you have, that's great. If you have not, you actually need to keep on watching. Hi, my name is Cisca, and on this channel I share sewing tutorials, sewing DIYs, as well as sewing hacks. In today's video, as said earlier, we are going to be learning how to true darts. Truing of darts is actually a skill you need to know in pattern drafting. It's something that you may need whenever you are also doing darts manipulations. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Please click the subscribe button, click the bell so you get updates when I post new videos. Please give us a thumbs up if you like this video. And now let's jump right into the tutorial. Before you go ahead and do any truing of darts, it's called truing. I'm going to spell it on the screen. You need to have created your bodice pattern. And then what you do next is to go on to, create your darts. I have a tutorial on how to create a basic bodice pattern. This is a half bodice because the dart is ending, at the waist, and it is having this triangular shapes. Most of the time, darts are trued when, the dart looks like a triangle like this. Okay, so if you know what an isosceles triangle looks like, it looks, something like this. Now, before we go ahead and true this dart, what I'm going to do is to get another piece of paper, okay, and then place underneath this part here. So I have this small piece right here. I'm using a different color so you guys can, see exactly what I am doing. The next thing I'm going to do is to go on to place a tape over it just to, hold this in place, okay? You may also need to true your darts. Sometimes when it comes to, manipulation of your darts, if you want to, move it from one place to another, there are some cases where you will need to do this truing of darts. But I want to show you this so that, when you need it, you are going to be able to, apply it. So once I have, attached this piece of paper to, the end of my dart right here, the next thing I'm going to do is to close my dart. I, sort of like fold the dart towards the center front, okay? Towards, the fullness of my bust area, if you get what I'm saying. I don't fold it towards the side seam. I fold it towards the center front, particularly my waist dart. What I'm going to do next is to place the dart legs on top of each other. This is called a dart leg. This point here is called the dart apex. So I'm just going to place this point here on top of this point here, okay? So just watch what I'm doing. Let me turn it like this so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. So I'll place it on top of each other. So can you see what I'm doing? So you want to make sure that it is directly on top of the second one, okay? Very, very important. And then I'm going to hold the apex like this. And what I'm going to do is to just, flatten this dart excess, okay? So can you see what I'm doing? Like this now, it is folded towards the center front. So can you see? What I'm now going to do is to bring this one here. I'll just bring it like this, making sure that they stay on top of each other at this point. Very, very important. So just watch what I'm doing. I'm making sure that it lays nicely on top of each other, and then I just press it down. So when you hold your darts for your bodice, you're going to be having like this sort of like protrusion at the bust to help shaping out the bust area. So now that this is done, the next thing I'm going to do is to go on to run my tracing wheel from this folded edge here, okay? So I'll just grab my tracing wheel now from this part where the fold ends, okay? Can you see it? This point here at the edge of my bodice pattern, I'm going to run my tracing wheel all the way to this part that we place the dart legs on top of each other, okay? So just watch what I'm doing. So I just run my tracing wheel like this, and then I stop right there. The next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and open my darts up, okay? Now, I'll be using a marker or a pencil to sort of like trace the perforation that my tracing wheel has made on this paper that you can see here, on this orange paper. So I'm going to use a marker to do that so that it is visible for you guys and you can appreciate, you know, this process. So I'm just going to go ahead and trace that perforation. So I'll just go like this. Did you see that? And then I'll come like this. So did you see that? And once I do this now, what I'm going to do is to go ahead and trim off this excess part that we don't need, because we actually do not need that part anymore. And once I do that, we're going to have something like this. By the time you fold this over like this, you're going to have the back of this pattern looking like this. So can you see that your dart excess or dart bulk will now be aligned to the edge of your pattern paper, such that by the time you are sewing by your seam allowance, you are going to, you know, grab everything, including your darts. So you are not going to have like this part of your darts, you know, sort of like jumping out of your bodice, okay? Everything is going to be aligned perfectly. And sometimes, like I said earlier, when it comes to, you know, darts manipulation, there are some points where you will need to actually, you know, through your darts, ensure that everything is okay before going on to, you know, move your dart legs around your pattern. I hope you learned something new in this tutorial, so that at the end of the day, when you're making a garment, you can have, you know, a very, very seamless finish. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, kindly give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, turn on the bell so you get, you know, updates when I post new videos. And in my next video, I'll be showing you how to, you know, manipulate your darts. There are two methods, but I'll be treating them, you know, one after the other. Thank you for watching, and I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Bye.